Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, freaks of my nation, it's me, the Big E, the E-Dub, or simply put, yours, yes, your favorite uncle, Ian Haynes, live via the power of another review, or more to the point, a little bit of adult time, because I am reviewing a vodka. Yes, and this is what's called an orange cream pop vodka. Made in Sweden. As you can tell, very frosty, icy cold, nice and frosty. I'm a vodka fanatic, so this is going to be interesting, going to be fun. Instead of the ceremonial drinking glass, we're going to pull out this. A ceremonial blue Disney Villains shot glass. And if you can't tell from behind me, I'm part of a Disney family, fanatics like that. Wow. I definitely can smell like a creamsicle. Let's get me a shot of this stuff. If this tastes as good as I think it is, I got some good ideas for that. Well, thumbs up. That's a... Ooh, there's warmth. Definitely it's... If you've ever had an orange creamsicle, that's what that tastes like, but with a little bit of the alcohol bite on the backside of it. I mean, it's pretty damn tasty, Yeah, definitely. It says it has hints of vanilla. I do taste the vanilla. That's very subtle compared to for what they're going for, the mix of the creamsicle flavor, and it works. And for what I could think you do with this is, take a scoop of ice cream, shot or two of this, and then put some orange soda on top of it and have like an orange creamsicle float. I can't claim that as an original idea. That's actually an idea that one of my friends did, and she said it was good. I gotta take her word for that, because I just don't have any orange soda in the house. But as good as this tastes, I'm gonna need to pull some out to go get some, because that's worth another shot. But of course, this is the adult review. This is like a beer review. I'll definitely tell you right now, this is definitely a solid 8. I mean, worth the price, worth keeping in your freezer, worth saying cheers with. I get that little alcohol bite on the side of the, right through here, in the back of the tongue. But otherwise, everything else it's the sweet orange and vanilla flavor mixed together. And usually with flavored vodkas, I'm a little wary because I've drinking some and they don't want to go down. But as before, like with the last alcohol review, it maybe a little more insight into my life. Maybe not as sad, boohoo, and depressing. Maybe a little more upbeat. Just a couple small stories. As you can tell, I mean, if you can't see in the background, I'm part of a family that's very much Disneyland oriented. We've had a good childhood. We usually, maybe once every summer or two, my parents always tried to make sure we could go for Disneyland for at least 1 or 2 days. We lucked out and had a grandmother who lived in Long Beach, California, so that kind of saved us on the hotel and breakfast usually. But we'd go every summer, and for those of you who've never been to Disneyland during the summer, it's hot, it's chaotic. We've learned a lot since then. Definitely off season when we like to go. Yeah, it's for me. There's a lot of great, happy entertaining memories there. I think the strongest one from story, I don't know if you said some story, is fun fact is Ira Pickle is my great-great-great-grandfather, and he was the foreman of a crew at the Todd shipyards. More to the point, he was the foreman of the crew who built the Mark Twain, which currently resides in Disneyland. So say I have family ties there, might not be a huge stretch. Yeah, over the years we've learned. We go, we have fun. We have our routines. And as your family, you may have your routines. We go in, every morning we enter. We always go to the tunnel to the left. Why? I don't know. It's the way we always did it. We always went in the left and came out the right. Part of it now is usually the times a year we go, it's a birthday or two. So we always end up having to go to Town Hall, which is, if you've been there, or as you'll learn in a second, when you go into Disneyland, you go in through the left, there's Town Hall right there. And if it's your birthday, or your first time, or anniversary, maybe there's some little detail stuff. If you go into Town Hall and say, hey, it's my birthday, you get a free button that says, gives your name, and sometimes, usually if you're younger, it gives your age. And throughout the day, as long as you're wearing your button, you'll have a random cast member say, hey, happy birthday. One of my experiences was I was riding the Monsters, Inc. ride in Disney California Adventure, and I was wearing my usual Disney button, hey, it's my birthday. And for those of you who've ridden it, you know at the end there's the character from Disney's Monsters Incorporated, Roz, and she's throwing out random lines. And me and my friend who were in one car come pulling around the corner. I guess whoever's working that saw it, and she just wished me a happy birthday. I thought that was kind of cool. Come to find out when I met up with the rest of my party who was in the car in front of us, they had my two nephews. And apparently she said to them, you have a couple of cute monsters. Little does she know that they are little monsters to begin with, but it's stuff like that, the magic that Disney does with things like that just make your visit more, memorable. For me, one of the strongest memory I have has always been our big family trips, though. We did one huge trip to Disney World, 2 weeks. I'm not going to get into the other stories. There are some good ones there, but we're not going to get into the other stories on this one time around. Before that, we did a big family trip to Disneyland. It was usually about a year or two ago. It was around Christmas time. And if you go now, you know what I'm saying when I say during Christmas, they make it snow on Main Street. You've seen it. It's beautiful. Excuse me. But the first year they made it snow on Main Street was actually the last year we had one of these big family trips. To Disneyland, at least. Yeah, it's partly because of my parents' health. It happens. But it was just so memorable because my mom, being in the wheelchair at the time, when it started snowing, she said, same words I say every time I'm there, it looks so beautiful. And Disney just has improved it year after year after year. I mean, I have pictures, and if I could dig them up, I'd show you guys. I'm hugging my nephews, and I'm in tears. I'm in tears. And it's not tears because I'm sad. Not tears because... because... it is probably because I miss my family, but it's not because I miss them. It's because I am so happy to be sharing that moment of time with them. helping them build their own memories in such as, I'm throwing the word out a lot, but it's such a magical place. It's just how you're transported to wherever they want to get you. Me and my sister Sophia, and eventually you're going to meet her. She's going to be one of our guest reviewers, I promise you that. But me and her have done a few of our own trips where it's just me and her tromping around and being us. One of the more memorable ones was one of the last times before my father really got sick. First off, cheers. The way the Disneyland Resort area is set up now is you get off either the bus or the tram. If you get off the tram, there's the downtown Disney district, and then you walk towards the parks, and there's this big courtyard, and there's like a compass rose right in the middle between Disney California Adventure and Disneyland. Well, this last trip for me and my sister alone was around the time the movie Chicken Little came out. And I think this is hilarious. Some people don't think it's funny. She thinks it's funny. You can always tell me down in the comments what you think. We're standing under one of the pylons for where the monorail is. I'm just looking back and forth. I don't know why we aren't going in. We're just kind of taking in the season. They have their decorations out. And it's Christmas time. I look over at California Adventure, and over the wall, and to see it from the distance I was at, you have to imagine the size of this thing. Over the wall, there was an inflatable Chicken Little. And I look at my sister, think, hey, look, Chicken Little. She's looking around like, ooh, where? I was kind of looking at her like, really? Really? Right over there. He's huge. How can you miss him? And of course, I got a chuckle out of that. She still kind of laughs at it to this day. We told a few friends they're kind of hit and miss, but if you don't think that's funny, something wrong with you. That's funny. We go there right around Christmas time. There's a week in there, just after the cast parties, just before the candlelight vigil, where it's beautifully decorated for Christmas. It's gorgeous. Disney knows how to do it right. But it's not crowded. I think the longest line we've ever stood in was 30 minutes, and that was in California Adventure for Toy Story Mania, like a year or two after it opened. So, yeah, we have our routines. We get there. Our first day, we're kind of settling into our routine. We walk in. We always have Carnation. Rewind. We always have breakfast at the Carnation. Family routine. Don't know why. Our mom got us doing that years ago. And our last morning, we always do character breakfast. But we always plan 2 days at Disneyland, and it used to be 1 day at California Adventure. We've kind of had to change that because we haven't really seen any of the new expansions into Cars Land yet. That's this year. You're going to go with us, I promise. But yeah, we're playing 2 days this year at Disneyland, 2 days at California Adventure, and it's a spare day in there to do whatever we want. We always try to make sure we catch the Fantasmic show, which my nephews are obsessed with. With my newest as some of you may know, some of you may not, I have 3 nephews. There's Eric and Xander, who in past videos you've met. There's my 3rd nephew, Magnus. You have not met him yet because, well, he can't speak. He's not even a year old. But every one of my nephews, their first ride, and we've done this consistently for Eric and consistently for Xander, and I'm pretty sure my sister can say consistent with Magnus, their first ride has been Buzz Lightyear. That's in Tomorrowland. It's replaced a few things. I mean, I have a strong memory of what was there prior. Both times. I mean, things change a lot in Disney, and I know Disney trivia and facts inside and out. I could spend an hour on a video just boring the tar out of you with it. And if you want that, comments below. I can do that. Yeah, they've done that every time, and I've told them about things in the past, things that used to be there, and they're kind of giving me that, what are you talking about, look. And trying to explain it, it kind of makes me feel old, but it's hard to feel old in a place like that. It's magical. But yeah, you always go through Tomorrowland, Fantasyland, yada. Yeah, I mean, great memories there. I can't say enough. One more quick story, then I'm gonna cut this short because I'm getting closer to it's a little longer than I planned it to be. Last time we were there, it was right around the time Tron Legacy came out. And at the time in Disney California Adventure, they had what was called Electronica. And for those who don't know, and I'll try to explain it, they took the Hollywood area, kind of where they have where Monsters Inc. is, where Tower of Terror is, where the Muppets 3D Vision, all that stuff. Down in that area, they kind of shut it off. Go blacklight. Cheers. Go blacklight and like Tron thing. They had the whole little, I don't know if it was like a camera or something. It's in the movies at the entrance, and it did shoot straight back. But we were walking in. We were taking a quick break underneath what used to be the Golden Gate Bridge. It's gone now due to updates. A lot of things have changed since I've been there last. Like the original sign that was in front of California Adventure, the big California, is gone. But I'm getting off track again. It happens. I'm here, there, and everywhere. But we're walking in. We're taking a quick breather there. My middle nephew, Xander, was there. What was he? He was in the stroller, and my oldest nephew, Eric, was just standing there, and all of a sudden, could hear the beat, from the techno music. He just started to do the bounce. And me and my sister both looked at each other and said, "Wow, it's taking him over. He's infected." But we ended up back there. I mean, a lot of cool stuff happened for that. They gave you a preview for Tron in the Muppets 3D theater, which they gave you the full effect. They gave, like, if something's not supposed to be flying over your head, they gave you the downdraft. They gave you the whole 9 yards. I think if they could have shown the whole movie in there with the full effects, I thought it was a good movie to begin with. I think with the full effects, oh my god, it would have been amazing. But again, I'm just one person. It's one opinion. But yeah, back there they had techno performers, DJs. They had a retro arcade, and it's actually called Flynn's Arcade, which I think was cool. I mean, I think if Disney was smart, and definitely because Tron is a Disney brand, take Flynn's Arcade to Tomorrowland and rename the Starcade Flynn's Arcade. Again, one man's opinion. I could be wrong. I think it would be cool. But that's changed now. It's now the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. I've seen a lot of videos on it. I've never seen it face to face. I'm interested. I'm curious. They have a live band playing a lot of cool rock stuff that, from what I've seen on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. And such. But yeah. I guess one more story, because this is probably one of the... Everybody finds this one funny. Then I'm going to cut this video off because I'm almost on 20 minutes now. One trip, we just finished watching a parade. I think it was... I'd like to say it was Electric Light Parade. I can't remember exactly. And wait, if anybody from Disney is watching this, take the Electric Light Parade back to Disneyland and put it back on Main Street where it belongs. I grew up with it on Main Street. It deserves to be on Main Street. But I digress. Back to the story. I got sidetracked again. We're walking out. We're like, hey, we want some candy. And you know what? This is the funniest part. We go in and at the candy shop in California Adventure, you can buy fudge. You buy 3 flavors, block about yay big, yay thick, something like that. Buy 3 blocks for X amount of dollars. I forget what it was. I'm like, oh, I want this. I want this. I look at my nephew's Andrew, Eric. At the time, he was the only one. I looked down at him. Eric, what flavor do you want? And he's there standing asleep. He's standing there up against the candy case asleep. And I'm trying not to laugh, bust out laughing, because it's pretty funny. And before my brother-in-law picked him up, my sister said, I gotta get a picture of this. And we snapped the picture. I gotta try and find it and share it with you guys, because how often can you see a kid in a candy shop? Let me say it again. A kid in a candy shop asleep. And not just asleep standing up. I think it's hilarious. I'm smiling because I think it's funny. But, again, some people think I'm a little evil, and I'm proud of that fact. So, there's a little more background into my life and how I used to spend my family time, my I guess, almost my social time anymore with my family. And one of my great memories were formed at that park. And still are being made at that park. It's amazing. So, before it gets any more out of hand, if you sat there this long, definitely like the video. Please, especially if you've sat there this long, like the video. If you think your friends can sit through this also and deal with me getting a little tipsy off some, actually, not that bad of vodka. Definitely share it with your friends. I mean, if you want to hear more stories about Disneyland, any, odd end facts, history of Disneyland, comments below. I know quite a bit about Disneyland. I don't know if you can see them in the background. I got a lot of Disney memorabilia throughout my room. That's not even a joke. Any questions, curiosities, any videos you want me to do, down below. And again, if this is your first time here and you sat through it this long, please subscribe. If you sat through it this long to get to the point where I can say subscribe, you should subscribe. Otherwise, from your favorite uncle, and on a Disney note at that point even, peace and chicken grease. Wait. Am I going to do it? I'm not going to do it. Not this time. But peace and chicken grease. I'm out.